Today, we're beginning our countdown of our top 10 moments from El Salvador in 2025. So let's get started. So in 2025, I spent over a month in El Salvador, making 7 stops along the way and had an amazing time in the country. Some of those stops included the capital San Salvador, the Ruta de las Flores. I made 3 stops along there. I went to Suchitoto, El Zonte, Santa Ana, and more. And it was just an amazing time. I was really not sure what to expect with El Salvador. Obviously, it's been in the news a lot this past year for a variety of reasons, but El Salvador to me was one of the best surprises of my entire year. Great people, amazing places to visit, so much variety in such a small country. It was really amazing to check all of it out. El Salvador also had one of the best public transit systems that I've been to, with lots of really well-marked routes, lots of information online to get around, and so inexpensive that it made it almost impossible to get lost or to feel like you spent too much money traveling the country. So just a recap for 2025. So far we've already talked about Mexico, we've talked about Belize, we talked about Guatemala in 2 separate parts. Today we'll be discussing El Salvador, and of course we still have Honduras, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica to come. So, without further ado, let's get started on my top 10 moments from El Salvador in 2025. Starting in the honorable mention position, I have the National Palace in San Salvador. It's mostly a museum and a historical record of the time that San Salvador has been the capital. It was a really interesting time. I had a really fascinating tour there. You know, so much to see with all the different rooms and the gardens and just the opulence, I guess, of the building itself. It was really handy that the tour was in English. They had both English and Spanish options for tours. So it was really helpful to kind of get a feeling for some of the different things that they were talking about, what some of the different meanings were for some of the rooms and some of the gardens. Let's take a look at some of the clips.
We have 105 rooms, but we are going not to visit all of them.
That would take too long, yeah.
Yes. And nowadays it's gonna use as a museum. This is the Red Hall. The Red Hall was used for protocol event as a reception. On the top we have 14 medallions with the name of our state. This wall has been restored because, remember, came here a different period of administration, and maybe they didn't want the original photo. They decided to change. To the process to a restoration, the person took a scalpel and tried to remove the slayer, nice layer, to try to find out the original design. For example, this is original, but in that part has been restored. Here you can see all the room that the past was office. Yes.
Wow.
Do you want to take your photos?
Yeah, I'm gonna go this way for a minute.
Okay, perfect.
All the different tiles. So she was saying that every room has different tiles and different ceiling designs, and every room's painting is different also. So some of them here you can see the restorations happening. Like this is new paint, and then there's the original paint that's being restored in some sections.
The National Palace has the same structure, have the same style as a National Palace from Europe, for example, French, Italy. Here we have Gothic styles, classic designs, a lot of Renaissance in French, and something like that. The styles of the doors is Baroque styles. This is called in Spanish lengüetas, but as you see, it's like a triangle of the colors. You can touch it.
Yeah.
We have 100% Salvadorian wood. We have cedar, ebony, mahogany. This is the Blue Hole. Here was the Congress. The Congress, if you see, divided in 3 parts. In front of us, we have the original furniture where the parliament or the ambassadors sat. Table in the middle sat the president. In that part that in the middle was the special or important guest. The styles of the floors is like a carpet.
Quite the building, for sure. It feels very French Renaissance, doesn't it? And the tour is really good, by the way. And I would say that for $5, it's pretty, it's well worth your time. In the number 10 position, we have my visit to La Dalia San Salvador, and El Salvador's oldest functioning bar. First opened back in 1937, this bar has been in continuous operation since that time, and it was an amazing way to get a local kind of slice of life in the capital. There was pool tables, there was a really great bar with some really great food, and just the whole ambiance of the place made it something really special. Let's have a look at some of the clips from La Dahlia. This is Club La Dahlia. It's up on the second floor here. So La Dahlia is a great place to come if you want to just come and hang out and get a bit of the local culture, watch some people play pool yourself if you'd like to, and cool yourself off with a nice frosty beverage and maybe a bite to eat. Prices here are really reasonable. Beer was like $2.50, $3, and I had a burger and fries, and that was like $8 or something. So really, really, really great spot. Obviously with the history that's here, I can't recommend it enough. It's just a hop, skip, right from the park next door. In the number 9 spot, we have the views from the Santa Ana Cathedral's roof. So my first stop in El Salvador was actually Santa Ana from the north after crossing over the border from Guatemala. And one of the first things I did when I got to Santa Ana was go up onto the rooftop of the cathedral. You pay a couple dollars, you can go up and kind of wander around, and you get a beautiful view of the whole city and the mountains that surround it and just everything that has to do with the city. It was a really great experience. A little bit fearful, I suppose, if you have a fear of heights, because you are on top of the building and it is quite a long way down. But the views were incredible and so worth it. And I can't recommend it enough if you go to Santa Ana to make sure you go up on top of the cathedral to have a look around. Let's have a look at some of the clips from Santa Ana Cathedral. We're going to take a walk inside, have a quick look. And also, if you look at the very top up here, you can actually climb up there to the bell tower to get a look at the city. So we're just in the entranceway here to climb up to the top of the cathedral. To get in, you basically come into the church, and on the left-hand side, there's a small, like a souvenir stand kind of shop set up, and you pay the girl there $2 US per person, and you can head up. And here are the winding stairs to get to the top. Let's get going. Warm up here because the sun's coming out, but yeah, I can see why you would want to come up here for the view of the town of Santa Ana here at the top of the cathedral. I believe on my way up, he mentioned that it's about 15 minutes you get to have, so you don't get to hang out here all day, of course, but 15 minutes should be more than enough time. So this is just the front side of the cathedral here. There's the main square, the National Theater here, and just to my right here is the bell tower. And we're just waiting for this photo shoot to finish, and then we can go up on the other side. So this is the highest point up here on the cathedral that you can get to. I'm at the very peak of the roof here, as you can see, with just an absolutely stunning view of the city all the way around. So yeah, this is the rooftop tour of the Santa Ana Cathedral here. It is absolutely worth spending $2 to come up and have a look at this beautiful city from up on the high point, and can't recommend it enough. In the number 8 position, we have the Museum of 1,000 Plates in Suchitoto. The Museum of 1,000 Plates was very amazing, bizarre, fascinating, and interesting, all rolled into one type of museum. They had collector plates from all over the world, and some of them dating back, 40, 50 years or more. It was an amazing collection. It was one of these little weird local museums, but also world-renowned. They had some articles that had been posted in magazines and newspapers talking about this museum, and that everyone should go check it out. So I did, and it was awesome. And the people that were there were very caring and very interested in showing you the collection and talking about it as much as they could. Let's have a look at some of the clips from the Museum of 1,000 Plates. So this is the Museum of 1,000 Plates and more here in Tsuchitoto, and it is literally what it sounds like. So this is a really kind of funny place because it's got a little bit of everything in it. So down in the back here, you've sort of got all the different animal ones. Got some of the older like Coca-Cola Christmas plates and stuff with the polar bears on them. So this is wild. I literally have never seen so many plates in one place before. So they've even got, oh interesting, they've got paintings, and then they've even got the Olympic pin set from 1984. Historical photos here from different periods. They've got stuff here from, you know, El Salvador, and then they've got different things here, Martin Luther King, Cuba, Venezuela, Dubrovnik, New York City, Princess Diana. There's an article from the paper about the Museum of 1,000 Plates that was featured. And we just got brought back to a back room here, and there's paintings here by a local artist who does these doorway paintings, which are really cool. So it's got different national birds speckled across them. There's 2 full-size doors and then a shutter there. Anyway, this is a place you definitely have to come and check out if you're in town. It's only $2 to get in. It said $3 at the front, but she only charged me $2, so maybe it was the beard. I don't know. Anyway, cool spot. Definitely come check it out. In the number 7 position, we have the Alejandro Cato Museum. So the Alejandro Cato Museum was also in Tsuchitoto and was somewhere that I was determined to go and see. Alejandro Cato was a famous documentary filmmaker from El Salvador back in the 30s and 40s. He worked very hard to showcase the people of El Salvador, the history of the country, and so much more. He is well renowned in the country, and especially in Tsuchitoto, where he lived for a number of years. The local theater is named after him, and this museum was amazing. If you want to check out something that is culturally relevant and special to the area, and learn a bit, because I didn't really know much about Alejandro Cato before I got there, just that I knew of his work and knew that he had been a documentary filmmaker for El Salvador, but this museum was incredible. Let's have a look at the Museum of Alejandro Cato. So I just got into the museum here for Alejandro Cato in Tsuchitoto, and it's a pretty beautiful space. The admission was $3 US to get in, and they have a very impressive collection here. So there's like honorary degrees, diploma with honor, those types of things. And then on this side is more of the honors. So here was like, you know, special recognition award from the Legislative Assembly, National Department of Culture, honors, those types of things. Just a beautiful space here though. This room features a collection of paintings from artists who were both friends and inspired by Alejandro Cato. And it's a pretty amazing collection, a lot of different types of art. And then on this side, we have pictures of Cato here in Tsuchitoto over the years, attending various events and galas. He was a big supporter of this city, and a few of his films, including his first few shorts, were actually about the town of Tsuchitoto. This museum, an Alejandro Cato Casa, is a really cool spot here in the city of Tsuchitoto and well worth your time. In the number 6 position, we have the El Rosario Church in San Salvador. This was another place that I had heard about previous to arriving there, but walking inside this building and seeing the beauty of the design and the colors and the light and just everything about this place made it so incredible and special. I've never seen another church like it before or since. It's one of those places that I don't think a lot of people outside of the country know about. I was the only visitor there at the time, and I had the whole place to myself, and it was just, I was at a loss for words. And instead of me talking about it more here, let's have a look at some of the clips from the El Rosario Church. So good news, we have found the secret side entrance to the church. So if you come over here and you want to check out this church, come around to the right-hand side and look for this entranceway. And this is why I wanted to get inside this place. And might be the most beautiful church you'll ever see. So this church was built in the 1960s on the site of the original San Salvador church that was built in the 1800s. The stained glass work with the midday sun lights up the entire building, and it's just an absolutely beautiful spot. And you don't even have to be religious to enjoy this place. Just come in and admire the design. And this is even I would say, a modernist take on the 15 stages of the cross, all the way around. But yeah, if you're in San Salvador, you absolutely have to come by and see this place, because this is unbelievable. Anyway, that's the view of El Rosario outside, which is, now you understand why I wanted to get inside, because that was remarkable, to say the least. So there you have it, the first half of my top 10 moments from El Salvador in 2025. I hope you liked this video. It's an amazing country, and I can't encourage people enough to go and check it out. There are so many great things to see, so many places to explore, wonderful food, wonderful people, and just a general great atmosphere that people there feel like the country is on the up and up. In our next video, we'll then recap the top 5 moments from El Salvador in 2025. Thank you so much for watching as always. I really appreciate it. Please leave a like or a comment down below to let me know that you were here. Let me know your thoughts on the list so far, places that you've been to in El Salvador that weren't on this list but might be in the next part. If you'd like to support me, there's a couple different ways you can do that. I have some memberships set up here on YouTube. There's actually 4 different tiers available now. The cheapest starting at just 99 cents Canadian per month, which works out to about 75 cents US. If you prefer to do a one-time donation, I have a couple of links here, both on the screen as QR codes and in the description below for PayPal and Bitcoin. All of that goes directly back to me to help support the channel so I can continue to bring you content and videos like this and more adventures in the future. I do all this by myself. I don't have a team or a bunch of other people that work with me. I film everything, I edit everything, I do all the social media, the website, everything is all done by myself, so any of that helps. And lastly, I have a couple of merchandise stores set up. I have one where I sell my own personal merchandise, where I have some t-shirts and hats, things like that through Spreadshirt. And then I also have an Amazon affiliate store set up now where you can go through and purchase products and pay the same price. I just get a little bit of it back on my side. So if you want to check that out, that'd be really cool. And remember, life is short. Wander. And I'll see you in the next video, part 2 from El Salvador in 2025.